Hey, I wanted to make this video because I want to show you something that's quite interesting. I have been building this tool called Sanity, and one of the things that I use it for is to understand the AI generated code, and I also use it to review the code before I commit it. But this is not about reviewing the code. This is something that I came across when one of my friends was using the tool. This is a diagram that was generated by Sanity from one of his modules in his Go project. And this was completely AI generated. The feature does what it's supposed to do. And my friend is also happy with the way it has come out. However, there are a few things that I noticed. So if you look at this diagram, and now you'd notice there are like a bunch of cyclic dependencies between several files here, right? And even though the solution work is not really well designed, because if you're not specifying the architecture or the design of your software, AI tends to generate whatever is required in order to get things working. With Sanity, what happens is that once you visualize a module, for instance, and you start noticing all of these problems with the design, you could specifically ask your coding agent about, hey, tell me what is going on between these two different files and why is there a cyclic dependency between them. And the LLM will go ahead and look into the relationship, and then it will help you understand why that relationship exists. And based on the information that you get from the LLM, you can decide whether it's required or not. And if you think it's not required, especially, let's say, for example, if you think that the relationship between these two files is not warranted, you could go tell the LLM, hey, I want you to break this cyclic dependency. And you could also tell it to use Sanity to validate the changes. So what your coding agent will do is it'll try to decouple both of these classes, hopefully break the cycle. And as it's doing it, it'll constantly keep running Sanity in the background and inspect if the relationship has been broken, right? So Sanity becomes a very reliable, deterministic, and a quick feedback tool between the LLM and the state of your code base. This is just one example. There could be other um, problems that can come, and when you're like looking at your design more closely, you can, for example, surface missing dependencies or missing relationships. You could also introduce new types or introduce indirection so that your files or types are easier to test. There are like a lot of other things that can go into software design. So that's something that I would talk about later. But this is how it's done. You just simply talk about all the relationship and you tell how you want the coding agent to redesign your software or your code base. And if you want to try it out, the link to Sanity is in the description. You can go try it out. If you have any questions, you can get back to me.